Hello, and welcome to this installment of my series Breaking Free, where I showcase myself working with clients and helping them move towards remission from complex regional pain syndrome. If you are watching this and you don't know who I am, my name is Chase Teagarden. I am a doctor of physical therapy and pain specialist who not only was diagnosed with CRPS 10 years ago and got out of pain after 4 years, but then went on to become a pain specialist and help people with CRPS all over the world. This video showcases my lovely client Pat and her progress, her struggles, and her questions I think were great. And so I thought they would be great to feature on YouTube so some of you could see and maybe resonate or relate in some way. If you would like to be helped just like Pat or in the way that these many clients here have been helped, I would be happy to work with you. You can go to my website, thewindowpane.com, and click that button there. Or you can go down in the description and click the link there to book a free consult with me, and we'll talk about if pain coaching is right for you. Thank you so much to Pat for agreeing to share this on YouTube. Pat has been with me since the beginning, my early Zooms, and I'm just so proud of her progress so far. She has gone from being afraid to get in the pool to starting to work back towards swimming. She's also gone from being worried about going for walks or getting on the bike to doing both those things. She has seen a reduction in her pain, and I have a feeling it's only going to get better from here. So thanks again, Pat, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one.
As an employee for the day.
Whoa,
And
what's
see how
happening?
QuickBooks helps them
Hey, how's it going?
beyond the numbers. Action.
Good. Just a second.
All right. How are you? How has your week been?
Um, Better than last week. Yeah.
That's good. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I don't know if I had any like great wins or anything. I didn't post anything on the chat, the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I did all the exercises most days, and I did the bike every day. I went up 5 minutes with the time, not the tension.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 5 minutes uh on the non-tension time. Wow, that's really good.
So 20, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, I love that. Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's fantastic. And so, it's okay if there's not a big win every week. But just having a better week than last week is good.
Yeah, last week was terrible. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, this week has been better as far as the pain too. Um, mm, I don't know. I think some of it may be due to just resigning myself to the fact that Janessa is not going to um come face to face with us until she sends us this letter. And we're still waiting for this letter. And my sister says, she's using you, and you should get her to come over and force her to talk to you. And I said, well, we can't do that. You can't force a person to come over and talk to you unless you're,
Yeah, you can't yeah, you can't force someone to come over and talk to you because you're not gonna be able to. I mean, the conversation won't go how you want to if you do that anyways, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe just thinking about that. And also, I have this week off. So I was looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That definitely helps. Yeah, a little
Yeah,
vacation, self-care time.
yeah,
That's good timing.
yeah. Spring break
Yeah.
here in Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. I think that, that's kind of been a theme this week. I've had a lot of clients come to that conclusion of, this person who I think has been a little bit of a source of my emotional and by virtue of that, my physical pain. I can't control what they do.
Hmm.
It's not my fault that they're behaving the way they are. And I have to, in order to feel like I have control, I have to let go of control. And I think doing that is good, and that's been demonstrated by the way you feel this week.
Hmm. Yeah,
Well, that's good.
yeah. And also getting outside, like the weather is a bit better now. We had like 3 degrees today, so that was nice. Yeah,
Heat wave.
Celsius. We went for a walk, Clark and I,
Yeah.
just around the block because yeah, I haven't been walking, and so that was a big thing. And that we went yesterday too as well. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, because it wasn't, well, it was colder yesterday, but yeah, today's pretty nice. Excuse me. And then this coming week, it's supposed to warm up here. By Friday, it's supposed to be 16 Celsius. Yeah,
Wow.
so
Wow. Okay. That's a
can get
big
out.
jump.
Yeah, can get outside and yeah,
I
enjoy
love that.
some sun.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, I can tell in your window there it looks nice outside already. And so,
Yeah, and it's lighter out, right? Till because we have new time, an hour
yes.
ahead. So yeah, but I mean, I'm really tired today because of that time change.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
surprised me this morning. I forgot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you got a smartphone for
I know the smartphone did change, but I looked at the oven and I said, "What?" But that's all right. It's good. I like when it's getting lighter out. I like when it's
Yeah,
getting warmer
me
out.
too, for sure. It's really great.
Yeah.
So I've decided to name my pain
Oh yeah? What's its name?
Felicity
Interesting. What made you come up with that?
because felicity means happiness.
Wow. I love that. That's quite the reframing. I love that actually. So that's cool. I had that's kind of similar to when I changed, from pain to power or purpose. So that's a really cool turning point, Pat. I think that's awesome. What made you want to name it?
Well, I told my friend about how we're using the brain to, send more positive images and thoughts um, about our pain. And she said, well, why don't you name your pain? She actually said that to me. So it wasn't
Awesome.
my original idea, but I liked it. And I said, yes, I'm going to do that.
That's wonderful. Well, tell her thank you because I might actually, I have some clients that'll have paint, their pain monster, or what their pain looks like. I'll have,
Uh-huh.
some clients who will imagine their pain as, something like a watermelon they can go smash. But I really like this renaming to something positive. That is actually a great idea. Your friend's
Yeah,
pretty smart.
I thought it was like for a while, I was thinking, okay, what will I name it? Maybe something like evil or something. But then I thought, nope, I got to get out of that mindset. And yeah.
I love that. So that's interesting because today I saw you post you were having trouble with that, not identifying as CRPS,
Hmm. Hmm.
but then at the same time you said you're shifting the positive mindset. So it sounds like you're doing pretty good at it. Explain that to me.
Yeah. Well, it's not an easy road. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs.
Absolutely.
And I think if you think that you're there and you're like, you're never going to have a setback, I don't think that's realistic either.
True.
So I don't think I'll maybe totally ever be there. I don't know.
Hmm. Interesting. I would encourage you. This is a concept in Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's the book I get the 1% concept from.
Oh, okay.
And in my online program, that's a book that shows up in module 8. But this book, what he says is if you want to become a runner, you should imagine yourself as a runner and then you do what a runner does. So if you get up during the day and you're like, oh, I have to go on my run after work. How am I going to do that? And you think, what would a runner do? And a runner would go on the run. And
Mm-hmm.
so in order to get to this point of someone who is, as I say, recovered, I want you to imagine, what that is like and what that version of Pat would do. And so, as much as I like the realism, but I want to push more towards optimism in certain
Okay.
ways.
Yeah,
Um,
I see that.
yeah, that as we think, so we are, so we need to, that's what the better document is for, right? Um, and I mean, you're doing great. Not only did you increase your time on the bike, you went for walks, you know,
Yeah.
um, and you're setting healthy boundaries, in your emotional and social relationships as well, standing up for yourself a bit. Um, and what what do we use to stand up for ourselves? Our feet, right? So sometimes when we need to do that, the pain is where we most, need to use it. So yeah, you're doing good. You're absolutely right. There's going to be ups and downs. And even a runner will have those ups and downs, right? Injuries while training, sickness, illnesses, financial troubles, but that's part of the journey, whether you're a runner or not a runner. Um, and so, with CRPS, whether you have CRPS or not, you're going to face these challenges in life. And as someone who is quote unquote better, just think what would better Pat do? That's the big thing.
Yeah. Well, better Pat would, yeah, I would do it because, yeah, I'm driven.
Yeah, yeah, you are. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I know that just from knowing the history of some of the things you've created, with
Mm-hmm.
with your business and
Mm-hmm.
all the things that you do for kids and for music and all of it. So tap into that. Let's keep that Pat at the forefront
Okay.
as best we
Okay.
can.
I did buy these books. Um,
Yeah.
bought that one and this one.
Oh yeah. Very good. I love both of those.
Okay. So I haven't
So
started them yet, but I will.
so the brain that changes itself is really good at explaining what neuroplasticity is
Yes.
and why, you know, we're doing some of the things that we're doing from a rehab standpoint.
Mhm.
And then the nonviolent communication book, I think that's going to be really good, for you when it comes to approaching anyone from a communication standpoint in life. I think that'll be really good also. So I love both those books so much.
Okay.
So I'll like that. And then, once you get through a little bit of those, or you start to feel like you've gotten some benefit, let me know. And then, I'll point you to another book that might be a little more challenging to read, not from an academic standpoint, but from a accepting the content standpoint. But it's an important book to
What's it
read.
called?
It's called The Mind Body Prescription.
Okay.
I'll show you what it looks like. I have it. Ugh, one second. So this book is written by John Sarno.
Oh, Sarno. Yeah, I remember you saying about him.
Yeah, and he this is one of the only books that I've read that's not titled CRPS or RSD that mentions RSD. It mentions it as RSD. And he has a theory that I tend to agree with, that there is a certain emotion that is a root of a lot of these syndromes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And if you had to take a guess at what emotion that may be, thinking of Janessa and those kinds of things, what emotion do you think that might be? A repressed emotion we don't express or feel that easily.
Mm, how we really feel?
Yeah, like if there's an emotion we don't let out and we've pushed it down so it shows up in our foot.
Anger.
Yep. The documentary about John Sarno is called All the Rage.
Okay.
And he points to anger as the source of not only CRPS necessarily, but back pain, migraines, digestive problems, many things. And when I first read that book, I got through chapter one or two and I threw it across the room angrily. And then I picked it up a little bit later and then got a little farther and then picked it up again. And then I've probably read it now 15 times. And I tend to see the pattern. I tend to agree. And that's a little bit of the root of where us CRPS folks, a lot of us are having a difficult time with family around the same time. A lot of us have lost a family member around the same time, or have a job we hate but we need.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so what's cool is letting go of our anger in some ways how you are now with the letters, the resigning to the fact that I can't control her, it is what it is. That then starts to reduce our pain. And you're seeing that in real time as we go through coaching. And that, to be completely honest, is what medicine misses.
Yes.
Yeah, because medicine, I mean, no matter how many doctors we go to, they're always going to look at our leg. They're not going to zoom out and look at the stuff that we've looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This it was a live stream
Oh, yeah.
that
Totally.
I watched, and he was invited, this Dr. Getson was
Mhm.
invited by the RSD group to give a talk on CRPS. And I really respected him. I thought he got at things very well. He said, if you don't remember anything, remember this, that your mind and your attitude are the most important factor in your improvement. What you eat, how you deal with people and approach life in the universe is the single most important factor, as well as getting rid of toxic relationships.
He's spot on. I love
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
might I might have to reach out to this individual.
Yeah, I think you should. He's 76. He's going to be retiring soon, but
I'll reach
he's,
out.
yeah, he said he would always talk to anybody in the medical field that called him and wanted to talk. So, yeah, reach out.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him. I'll reach out. RSDSA has already spoken to me a little bit, so I think I'm going to try and do a talk with them as well
Yeah,
and
yeah.
reiterate some of the things he said.
And he said there's always something you can find to be optimistic about.
Wow.
Yeah. And treat problems, not symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this guy already.
I know. I thought he was great.
Yeah.
Really, really great.
He sounds like we're really on the same page, me and him.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think he was always that way, but he's come around to it.
oh yeah.
And he also said this is a brain malfunction. It's not in your foot.
Yep. Yep. And
So yeah, I thought good for you.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed listening to him, and I got Clark to listen to it too. And what do you think of it, Clark? He's doing dishes.
I thought it was very good, yeah.
Informative, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
And he talked a lot about diet too.
Yeah, he did talk about diet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
The
thought
whole body.
the whole body.
brain,
Hmm.
the gut.
The brain, the
everything
gut,
involved
the whole
for it.
body.
Sure.
Really
Yeah.
important. And yeah, I can see that. What you eat and mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I talk about in my videos too is, the six factors that play into sensitization. And diet and lifestyle are most certainly on there. And
Yeah.
personal factors, toxic relationships as well. Um, yeah, he sounds like that's awesome. I think I'm hopefully this week, usually Tuesdays or Thursdays are my slower days.
Hmm.
So I can probably watch it on one of those days and
The
just
only the only thing I didn't like that he said was gabapentin just makes you fatter and stupider.
oh. Yeah, I think there's a yeah, I think there's a good and a bad to gabapentin, and for some people it's the bridge that gets them moving, and for some people it's not so good.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
So
I
yeah, go ahead.
when took gabapentin and Lyrica, I hated them.
Yeah, me too.
But there are some people who, it saves them to at least get started.
Yeah, yeah, same.
So I'm
Yeah.
okay. But I understand his opinion.
And so I saw my doctor on Friday and we talked over a plan because she asked me, "What is your goal for gabapentin?" And I said, "I want to get down off of it." And so she said, "All right, what we can do then is you try and go down this week coming up, like at least 300 milligrams a day. Start with that. And then she's also going to, now sorry, I'm getting too many people involved here, but when I listen to Dr. Getson, he really likes naltrexone. And he says it has so many fewer side effects than any of the other things. So I talked to her more about that. I am on naltrexone, the low dose, but he said you could go up to 10 milligrams. So I told the doctor that, and she said, "Okay, well, why don't we put you up to 10?" And I said, "No, I think 8 maybe." So she said, "Okay, 8 it is." So we're going to do that. But this coming week, I'm not starting that. I'm just going to do the gabapentin. And then I think my dosage of the other one, the 4.5 naltrexone, will be finished. And then the following week, I can start the new one with a little bit higher dose, but trying to get off the gabapentin.
Okay,
That's
so
our goal.
we're using this change to lower the gabapentin.
Yeah, it's a sort of titrating.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
And then what as things continue to get better, what I would suggest or hope the plan is to eventually start weaning off of the naltrexone as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
You are spot on, Pat. Look at you go. I love
So
it.
yeah, she's finally like understanding me and understanding this. I
Yeah.
think like
Yeah.
because for a while we did not get along too well, but now I think she understands what's going on better. Do you have
Yeah.
something to say?
Yeah, can I ask you about ketamine?
Ketamine? Sure.
Ketamine?
Yeah.
Whatever.
What
He,
about it?
he-
What do you think of?
So, one thing that you'll notice with a lot of medications for complex regional pain syndrome or pain, chronic pain in general, is most of the medications happen to have a mental health component. Ketamine is often used for mental health. I have friends that go get ketamine infusions just to help with some of the traumatic experiences in their lives. So I think ketamine, especially with my philosophy on CRPS as a whole, being strongly rooted, and it sounds like this other doctor's philosophy as well, being strongly rooted in our emotions. Uh, I think ketamine can be beneficial from that standpoint. Do I think it's absolutely necessary? No. But I think if there are certain medications that I think can be beneficial or helpful or that make sense to me, ketamine is one of those medications. Um, but again, I don't see it as like vital.
yeah,
You can totally go through this and get out of it without the ketamine, but for some people do find it helpful.
I'm going to talk
Okay.
to somebody from a clinic about it on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let
Like
me know.
this doctor Getson, he was also very much in favor of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially if you're having surgery to put that in the anesthesia.
Well, it
Yeah.
can definitely help calm things down. It's a tranquilizer, so
Right.
it makes you tranquil, it makes you calm, which
Mhm.
calms the nervous system, right? So yeah, that can be a great thing. Um, yeah, I like this. I like this doctor. I'm definitely gonna reach out. I think it'll be good to touch base, and if he's on the way retiring, and he has
Sooner
people
the
who need
better.
help, yeah, I'll help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was that. What else do I have here? Hmm, nothing much else on my list.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, is it Clark's birthday today?
Not quite
No.
today, no.
17th,
17th.
St. Patty's Day.
Ah,
St.
that's
Patrick's
right.
Day.
So you guys were celebrating early.
Well, we're
Yes,
gonna try.
we were gonna try. Now Blakey's over in
Blake's in Spain and Janessa ain't coming. So
That's all right.
yeah.
Well then, happy early birthday, and I'll try to remember next week before St.
oh
Patty's Day.
well,
So
I may
St.
not be
Patty's Day is on the
around.
17th, huh?
Yeah. So next Monday.
Next Monday. Okay. Sweet. I got some fancy lights on my house recently. And I'm gonna make them green for St.
Turn 'em
Patty's Day.
green. Turn 'em green. There you go.
Yeah.
Boy.
I'll have to send you a video.
Nice green beer.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. You're all set.
I think I can. Let's try this. Okay, Google, turn office lights green. There it goes.
Oh,
Oh,
you gotta do that for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, yeah, I'll be ready for when to be festive. So next week I'll have this on. But yeah, that'll be fun. Celebrate your birthday and have a good time. And Pat, I'm just super thrilled for you. You've made some connections in just 4 visits or so. What visit is this?
5, I think.
5 visits. You've made some connections that with some of my clients we don't get to until visit 15 or 16. Um,
Like what? What connections do you mean?
the connections to the emotional aspects of
Oh,
of
yeah.
pain.
Yes.
And
Well, I've been listening to you.
Hmm. Well, I appreciate it. I'd hope I don't get too annoying or too repetitive.
No, no, it's just yeah, it has to sink in.
Yeah,
Really does.
especially after years of it was this nerve or this bone or this
Yeah,
muscle.
yeah,
Yeah, no way. You're not a leg, Pat. You're the all complex and kind-hearted Pat. And so we have to look at that. That's how we get better.
yes.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I'm going to have an appointment with an orthopedic surgeon for the tear in my tendon in my shoulder. So I
Hmm.
want to see what he has to say about it.
Hmm. Okay, so the one thing I will say about that is there's a study that was done on elite volleyball players. They took a collegiate Division I team and they scanned their shoulders. 30% of those volleyball players, mind you, none of them had pain. 30% of them had a rotator cuff tear. So the reason I bring that up is because when you have a hammer, everything becomes a nail, and an orthopedic surgeon is trained to do surgery.
Yeah,
Tears are not causative for pain. They are sometimes correlated with pain, but it does not mean that it's the reason. So pain in the leg, pain in the shoulder, pain in the neck, pain in the earlobe. There's always another component to it. And I'm probably walking around right now with bulging or herniated discs in my back, and I have no back pain. If I wish I could do this and it wouldn't cost me an arm and a leg. But if I could go scan myself with a whole bunch of stuff, MRIs, I bet you my joints look broken or bad, but I don't have pain. And so that's just what I would caution you on when you go see this orthopedic surgeon. There's actually a book about that. Hold on.
Oh, jeez.
we're gonna be broke buying books.
Right. You're gonna have a whole library. Um, so this book is called
Oh
Surgery.
yes, I want to write that down. Will you
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you send me the
So
link.
this is called Surgery, the Ultimate Placebo.
Yes.
It's written by an orthopedic surgeon,
Okay.
and he says we do more surgeries than we ever have in the history of the world, and we have more pain than we ever have in the history of the world. So, do we think it's helping? I'm not sure. And he said, this is another guy's quote, but he says the scalpel is probably the most powerful placebo known to modern medicine. And Ian Harris provides a surgical antidote, facts, and rational argument. So
Mm.
that's why I bring up the facts of the fact that 30% of collegiate volleyball players, based on that study, have a rotator cuff tear. For Canada in hockey, 30% of professional hockey players have a labral tear in the hip with no pain. Okay, so, this wrinkle on my forehead right here, it doesn't cause my headaches. Okay, this is part of aging and using our bodies. So
But
I just
how am I ever going to get back to swimming? Because
See,
it hurt.
see, it's range of motion.
It's
yeah.
bad.
So how do we improve range of motion? What do you think we do?
Exercises.
Spinning.
Exercises, yep. We start to move it slowly. We have, I don't know if I've ever given you the exercise of towel slides on the table, getting used
No.
to, okay, well I can. We're starting to look at other things besides the foot.
No.
So let's do conservative treatment first, and if the orthopedic surgeon doesn't suggest conservative treatment first, run away.
Okay.
If he does, then good. Okay. But if there's an element of scaring, if he says this looks like the arm of a 90-year-old, I don't want you to get too wrapped up in that. I want you to let's lean into some conservative stuff first. If we can stay away from the scalpel
Mm-hmm.
and just get better with some exercises, then I'd rather do that.
Yeah, me too. It can repair itself.
So it doesn't even necessarily matter if it repairs itself. The body is adaptable. So, for example, you have the rotator cuff has four different muscles in it. And they work together to do different motions. And so one muscle being a little bit torn or frayed or weaker, the other muscles we can strengthen and it can be a compensation and you won't have any pain. There are tons of the statistically, getting a rotator cuff surgery or treating with conservative treatment, you end up in the same place 18 months later. So just as much function. In fact, there is research where they literally fake the rotator cuff surgery and the outcomes are the same as doing a real surgery.
Wow.
And you can find all this research on my website. It's under the research tab. Just click
Okay.
the gray square box and you'll
Yeah.
you'll see it. And this is why one of my modules on the program is called Structure Doesn't Matter. That's module 6.
Okay. So, um, I've had a cortisone shot in that arm, and that's really helped.
Okay,
Would you
so
say that that's a conservative approach or no?
that's conservative because you're not cutting anything.
Yeah.
Um, we've talked about stressors in our lives, right? When you are stressed or after a stressful event, do you know what chemical our body releases?
Um, After stress, cortisol.
Cortisone, yeah. And do you know what a cortisone shot is?
Yeah.
It's a copy of cortisol.
Yeah.
So the fact that that helps only further solidifies my point, right? Um,
Okay. So what's this exercise?
so I'll send you a group of exercises. The first one's going to be towel table slide. So how high can you lift your arm up?
Oh, there.
Okay. And how's your other arms? Good?
The other I'm so because it's got spurs.
Okay. Well, then we'll work on both. So this will be an
Yeah.
exercise for both, okay? Um, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our hand on the table. So let's pretend that there's a table right here next to me, and I'm sitting in a chair. We're gonna have a towel under our hand, and we're gonna lean forward, letting the hand slide, and we're gonna try to get to this position.
Okay.
Again, just
But
like we
it,
did with the foot, if moving towards that position hurts, you go right to the edge of discomfort and then come back.
yeah.
So you do it straight forward, and then you do it that was not then you do it to the side like this. Okay, like that. Okay, so that's working on lifting the arm up like this. That's working on lifting the arm up like this. Now, the graduation from there, because this is with gravity eliminated, there's no gravity acting on us there. So we'll probably be able to get pretty high. The graduation from that is coming to the wall, putting the towel there, and then sliding up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sliding up and down there. So I'll
Mhm.
send you the table version, a video of that, and then I'll send you a video of the going up the wall version.
Okay.
And then what we can do is we can think of, since we go to the pool sometimes, we can think of some pool exercises to help with that because the water eliminates gravity too.
Right.
Okay, and there's exercises like this.
Yeah, I've got those weights, right?
Yep. And so you
I
can do,
have been doing that in the pool already.
can we probably can't do this though.
Uh-uh.
Okay. So we're gonna work up to that with these table slides, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, I have a feeling that this orthopedic surgeon will suggest conservative treatment. Um, I think that's the best option, and I think we can totally get things moving and get things better without going the surgical route. Um, and I think anyone would prefer that, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. I've had enough surgery.
Yeah, we don't need any more of that. You're already getting better, doing better, and sometimes as we explore these emotions and the foot starts to improve, the body looks for more distraction from the emotion and something else hurts. For me, my before I confronted these emotions, I got out of my CRPS pain, but then I got chronic migraines.
Oh,
And then I got out of my migraine pain and then I got ulcerative colitis. And I see it all as the same thing.
and you still have that?
Nope.
Oh,
And that's one of those things they say is lifelong, like be quiet, take the medicine.
hmm.
I haven't taken sulfasalazine for 5 years, 6 years.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. So I see, and so does Sarno in the book that I mentioned, this one.
Hmm.
I see these as kind of the same problem. It's an overcharged nervous system due to personal and life factors, and repressed emotion. But what's cool about that is it tells us our body is pretty darn strong and resilient.
And like, how do you not have pain in your back? Because, yeah, if you've got all these bad discs and everything.
It's a disc degeneration and bulging discs and
Yeah.
herniations. They're normal parts of life. And I'll prove it to you. So give me a second. So just like rotator cuff tears, um, they did a study. So the MRI was one of the best things and the worst things to happen to medicine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
First, we scanned a bunch of people with pain and we said, right here, this is your problem. This rotator cuff, this meniscus, all these things. That's the reason for your pain. Then we started scanning people without pain. And we discovered, oh, maybe that's not the reason. So this study, I'm going to show you it on your screen here. They took 3,110 people and they put them in an MRI machine. 3,110, okay? They were ages 20 to 80
Yeah.
and they scanned their backs looking for disc degeneration, disc bulge, disc protrusion, facet degeneration, and spondylolisthesis. Now look at this. From 20, it's 37, 30, 52, 40, 68, all the way up to 80. 96% of 80-year-olds had disc degeneration.
And this is normal people.
Findings in people with asymptomatic,
Okay. No
so
pain.
no pain at all. So they have no pain at all, and yet disc bulges 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 69%, 77, 84.
Yeah.
So the conclusion of this study was that we should not take MRI findings alone as proof of the reason for pain. because it looks like since this is increasing with age in a linear fashion, this is a normal part of aging, just like the wrinkle on my forehead. It's just wrinkles on the inside. So it's I bet if they scan, if they scan some of your joints, we might see some of these things, but you don't have pain in those areas. So it's neither here nor there. We're chasing a red herring. And medicine still has is still working on catching up to this because guess what? Insurance pays a lot for us to have
Yeah.
surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so some of the things I was told by my back surgeon, he said I had the back of a 70-year-old. He said it was the worst herniation he'd ever seen, and he does 100 surgeries a year. And he said I should never squat again. Thankfully, I learned better. And I don't think he was being malicious. I think he was just uh, he had succumbed to ideology. He had been
Mhm.
indoctrinated into orthopedic surgery. So he thought he was trying to help me,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't necessary. If he would have asked about, who had passed away 6 months before I came into his office, I think things might have been different.
Yeah. They don't do that.
No, but that's okay. We're one step at a time. We'll open the eyes.
This doctor gets him. He said, um, modern medicine is in a hurry.
Yes.
And he said, I take 1 hour with my patients. And
Hmm.
because you cannot assess a person in 15 minutes. There's no way.
No way at all. That's why our sessions are this long.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, if you truly, there's people practicing medicine and there's people practicing healing. It sounds like Dr. Getson, much like myself, that want to practice the latter.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
important thing.
Yes. I
Very good.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But still, I'm envious of those people that have had like these really good breakthroughs. And yes, so I know you're going to address this in your Q&A,
Yeah.
but yeah, still kind of envious of them. And
Yeah. That's okay. Envy is a normal human emotion. And you know, here we are, session 5, and just look how far you've come. Imagine session 8, or anywhere along this way, how much different things might look.
yes.
So uh, a Canadian, I'm not sure your opinion on him. He's polarizing sometimes, but Dr. Jordan Peterson,
Oh, yes, I know him.
one of his rules is compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. And I think that's a fantastic rule, no matter what the opinion of him might be. But he makes some good points in some of his books, and I think that one is an excellent one. And I think that you should reflect on at least that concept when you start to feel some of that envy. This is your journey, Pat's journey alone, and nobody has lived every moment of their life just like you,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So as much as I want the Lamborghini, right? I don't know if that the Lamborghini was handed to somebody, versus,
Right.
the sweat and tears put into that
Mhm.
stuff. And I don't want a Lamborghini, just a just an analogy, right?
I also made 2 suppers this week. I made tonight I made this chicken dish with coconut milk and
Ooh,
sun-dried tomatoes
I
and
love those.
rice. It was really good. And then
Wow.
I also made you ever heard of salmon loaf?
I've heard of it, but I never had it.
Yeah, I made that. So that was good too. And
Wow.
I made all the sides too.
Yeah.
I did everything.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So see, here we are, more improvements. I love it, and my mouth is watering thinking of sun-dried tomatoes. But that's
And
great.
yeah, like yesterday was hard making the meal because I was in a lot of pain. But today it was like joy because I wasn't in that much pain and it was I was in my happy place making food.
I love that. I like spending more time there in the happy place.
Yeah.
I I want to let's conceptualize this, Pat, because you've seen some of the posts of, people each week about all these breakthroughs they're having, right?
Hmm.
I want you to know that behind those posts, in they also have these feelings of, I was in pain this day during this, but then the next day I wasn't, So when you see those posts, it's not necessarily that they are like completely just doing fantastic. There's no up and down. Behind it, this is kind of how social media can be sometimes, right? Behind it,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
there is some
True.
some battle, some struggle. And so let's think of what Pat's post would be if you did one. So I'll explain what comes to my vision, right? I see, this last week I made 2 meals and I hadn't been cooking for X amount of time. I also increased my biking by 5 minutes. And when a few weeks ago I was nervous to do one. I've returned to the pool and started doing exercises when a few weeks ago I was scared I couldn't even sit in it. Okay, so that is all like that kind of stuff is what makes a powerful post, and you are there to do that. Um, but you still have these challenges just like my other clients do, and that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about that when you hear it that way?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I think we forget because we're living with it every day. I think we forget
Yeah,
the strides we've actually made.
because their posts just sound so great.
It sounds
Yeah,
like they've you know
nailed it.
yeah. Yeah. Well, you saw Sandy and she's doing the guitar,
Right.
but she's still working on getting some motion back in her wrist. She's just got it to a position now that she can do the guitar. And she's
Yes.
still working on gripping things. Renee, she's doing this stuff with her daughter, getting back to living there. But she's still working on being able to tolerate certain shoes,
Uh-huh.
so
Uh-huh.
everyone's still on the journey.
Right.
And so it's all just part of the ride.
Yeah, and I'm friends with some of them, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
you know where they're at.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I definitely like to be supportive on there of what people have done.
Yeah. You're super supportive. You're like top member. I see, and I love that. It's awesome. People need that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody needs that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about, I was going to do this, but I don't know if what you think of it. I was going to make a post with a song that I play that's my cat.
The
Um,
cat likes it.
that's would be entitled Pain, or I was gonna call it Lament. And then another post that has, well, it's the same post, but two different sides to it. And it has like a really like more happy song, and I would, you know, title it something like joyous or something. I don't know. What do
Yeah.
you think of that?
I think that'd be beautiful. Yeah. I think that would be really cool to illustrate kind of the process of, this like quote unquote recovery, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's a dark and a light. There's a up
Yes.
and a down. Actually, even my logo, the tree with the window,
Yes.
I took that inspiration comes from Jung. He said no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. And yeah, that would be perfect. And work with me on that post because what we'll want to do is when you post the video, you'll want to make sure that I think if you do two videos, it'll work. They'll be
Yeah.
side by side. You'll just do one, two.
Yeah.
I think if you do just one video, it like messes it up and makes the words hard to read. But I think if you do two, it'll work fine.
Yeah. That's what I thought I would do.
Do
Yeah.
it. That'd be amazing.
Okay.
And if you want to talk about the meaning behind it, and then if you even want to talk about, maybe honestly, this might resonate with people a lot. Talk about some of the wins you had, but then some of the maybe the challenges you've had with feeling envious or things like that. I think that'd be very human and I think people would love it.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to talk at the beginning, like say the name of it and then talk a bit. And
I'd
yeah.
love that. Do it. That makes me super excited.
Okay. And you saw my puzzle. I got that done.
Yeah, my dad, funny enough, um I'll send you a picture of it. My dad started a new one and
Okay.
there's a big old cat.
Oh, nice. 'Cause
So
I
I think
love cats.
yeah.
Have to get another one. I'll go into the thrift store this week.
Yeah. Go
Yeah.
go in and grab it. You don't want to do the spiral crypt that I sent you?
No, I don't think so. And I don't want to buy anything.
Yeah, I don't yeah, no need to do that when you can find good ones at the thrift store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my dad the spiral crypt to drive him nuts. We'll see what he does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you should take a picture of it for me. Take a picture of this cat for me.
Yeah, yeah, I'll show you his progress, but I'll show you like the poster they give you to show what it looks
Yeah.
like
The
finished.
finished.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of
Yeah.
it after this.
Yeah. Well, he didn't bring in your supper tonight.
I know. He's
Right.
out there. No, I already ate, that's why. But
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I got this I've been lazy. I got these pre-made meal things, but they're good. They're good. But yeah, he's out there doing the puzzle probably.
Uh-huh. Good
Um,
for him.
well, this session has been awesome. We've covered emotional things, we've covered structure, we've covered feelings around recovery and the healing process. Um, if you're open to it, I'd love this might be a tall order, but if you're open to it, I'd love for you to be one of my featured ones on YouTube. If you're not,
What?
okay. I know it sounds wild, right?
Ay,
Um,
ay. Yeah, okay.
Awesome. That makes me so happy because I have no doubt that so many people are going to be able to resonate with you, and so many people are going to be able to benefit from some of the things we've talked about in this visit. And so that'd be really cool, Pat. Love it. What's your favorite color?
Red.
Okay, Google, turn office lights red.
We're ready
Nice.
for Christmas. Green and red.
There we go. It's a holiday celebration 9 months early. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm super excited. I'm just excited for the week ahead. I think, we continue on with increasing our stuff as much as we feel we can. I'll let you decide there.
Yep.
And then, increasing our walks.
Yep. And the exercise is the same.
So yeah, keep the exercise the same, but I'm gonna send you those
And
shoulder
those
ones.
new ones. Yeah.
Yep. We'll add those in so we
Okay.
can start working on that range of motion.
Okay.
You'd be surprised. I'll meet people where they can't even lift their arm this much,
Okay.
but we start working on that stuff and it'll come back.
Okay. Because I really want to swim so bad.
Yeah, let's get working on it. The same way we started being able to walk longer and just getting in the pool in general is the same way we'll approach and getting our arms moving.
Okay.
All
Yep.
right. We got this. Okay, I'll send you some of this stuff. I'll still send you the link to the books that I mentioned. You don't have to start reading them, but at least you'll have them.
Yes.
Um, and I'll send you a picture of the puzzle.
Okay.
All right, Pat. You guys have a good night.
You
Clark, have a good
too.
night if you can hear me.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I'll see ya.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.